name is Abby Smith. I'm a professor of marine science at the University of Otago. And I am a geobiochemist. A geobiochemist is a strange sort of word. It means that I do some geology type work and some chemistry type work and some biology type work. So that's perfect for ocean acidification, because ocean acidification is an issue that includes the atmosphere, the water, the organisms in the water, and the sediment or rocks around them. So you need to be kind of multidisciplinary in order to work in the world of ocean acidification. We're super lucky here at Otago to have chemists, biologists, botanists, and zoologists all working in the area of ocean acidification, working together as a team and bringing their expertise from different areas into that particular study. I wanted to show you this. This is a coral, and corals come, as you know, live in warm water, and they're colonies. So they're made of zillions of little creatures who are all banded together to make a single structure like this. If you look real close at it, you can see all the different little places where each individual polyp lives. But these are typical of warm waters, and I live in a place with cold waters. So I study something extremely similar, this, but they're not corals, they're called bryozoans. They too are colonies made of little individuals who have banded together to make a bigger thing, but they're too small for you to see. They're just tiny, almost pinprick sized on the surface of this complicated structure that they've made together. They're remarkable organisms. And what's even more remarkable about them is they're really not very complicated when they're alive. When they're alive, they're approximately like a box of shell with a little plastic bag living in it, and then occasionally reach a hand out and catch stuff. And that's about all it has, is a stomach and a little bit of tentacles and not much else. But they are the most amazing calcifiers. They make their skeletons out of at least 4 different minerals. They make skeletons that are complicated and beautiful and amazing. And I want to show you this one, which is not only complicated and stunning and beautiful, but also dark purple. So this one is a real puzzle to me because I don't know why it's purple. This is purple even if you put it in bleach. This is purple even if you put it in ethanol. This is purple if you boil it in bleach and ethanol, and believe me, I've tried, trying to get the purple to come out. It seems that the purple is actually part of the mineral this organism makes. We have been working through a process of trying to figure out what it is that this bryozoan adds to its skeleton to make it purple. And it might be manganese, but we aren't sure yet. So we have our purple bryozoan. Does that mean it's better or worse at managing the marine environment that's changing all around it? We don't know that either. But wouldn't it be interesting if it was some kind of a sunscreen and they managed thermal changes in the ocean temperature better because they were purple? Or wouldn't it be interesting if the addition of manganese to their skeleton, if it is manganese, changes the mineral content in such a way that it resists acidification more or less, depending. We don't know yet, but that's what we're working on. Research, scientific research, is when you don't know the answer. And it takes a long time to get past all the classrooms where somebody does know the answer to the point where you get to actually investigate things where it's not at all clear what the answer is, how to find it out, or whether you'll ever get there. But I must say, I find that the most exciting part of being a scientist. Well, I am interested in shells. What's a shell made of? Here's a paua shell, or it's an abalone, native abalone to New Zealand. The black-footed paua that's gone, long gone. Blackfoot is dead and gone, but I have the shell here. And what is it? What is it made of? It's very different on the inside than it is on the outside. The inside is shiny and pretty and iridescent. It changes color as you move it, and it's got that fabulous blue-green color. You'll have seen this exact shell cut up and used in jewelry, in decorating, in all sorts of places around Aotearoa, New Zealand. This is one of our icons. But this isn't. This is the dirty old outside. And it's got barnacles growing on it and algae growing on it and a whole range of things. But even the paua shell itself isn't very attractive on the outside. Why would that be? Well, the reason is that it's made of 2 different things. The inside is plates and plates of something called aragonite, and the plates are organized in little stacks, which diffuses light and gives you this iridescent feel. The outside is made of something called calcite, which is the same basic mineral, but arranged in a different way, and it's boring and dull looking. And the interesting thing is, from the point of view of aragonite is expensive to make. It takes time and energy to create aragonite, but calcite is easy to make from seawater. So what they've done is they've made themselves what you might call a sacrificial layer. The whole outside of the shell is made of the cheap stuff, so that if it gets damaged, worn off, encrusted, or otherwise, if you look really closely, you might see some borings. The otherwise damaged. This isn't the important stuff. This is just the outside shell that's protecting the stronger, more expensive, more complicated aragonite. So why does that matter? Well, who cares about calcite and aragonite, two minerals in the world, and the fact that different organisms make their shells out of different things? Well, it turns out that ocean acidification people care. And the reason that they care is because aragonite and calcite have different solubilities. And that means that one of them is more likely to dissolve in seawater than the other one. So if you make your shell of aragonite, which corals do, which chickens do, eggshells are made of aragonite, which a lot of organisms do, many clams and things do. If you make your shell out of aragonite, well, then it's going to be strong and it's going to withstand damage, but it's more likely to dissolve. If you make your shell from calcite, which lots of organisms do, snails and echinoderms and lots of other things make their skeletons out of calcite, it's not as strong, but it's much more resistant to dissolution. And so this one is the one you want if your ocean is acidifying, and this one is the one you want if you live in the waves. And the Paua have made a perfect solution. They've decided to take the best of both worlds. So they have the strong but likely to dissolve material on the inside, and the weaker but more resistant material on the outside. And that's one of the things I'm studying in trying to understand how ocean acidification will affect animals and plants in the ocean over time.